Magnum Prime here, and today we're taking a look at X-transbots Paean, which is their masterpiece take on Hoist. This is recently reissued as a Toon coloration, so we're going to check him out. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Okay, here we go. So in terms of accessories, you get absolutely shed loads. They're exactly the same as the original release, so I'm not going to go through them all in detail, but you get the sort of dual hand blaster, hand hammer. You get two of these, the hand cannon things, all painted in pearlescent white. These were originally in silver on the original release. You get, what else, crikey. You get Hoist Goes to Hollywood mask. That's good. You get another one to put on tracks if you've got Masterpiece tracks. You've got toy head, you've got many points of articulation on this kind of crane thing, and then you get the sort of energon thing that he builds with grapple. All nicely done, very nicely painted. I think this thing is brilliant. This is fully ratcheted, articulated crane, beautifully painted, and it's got a spring-loaded claw mechanism on it. So look, accessories-wise, I think this is fantastic, particularly at the price point, the quality of them as well. Really, really good stuff. 10 out of 10. So the head is on a swivel and it's got a hinge for a really good look up. It's a little bit stiff, the pin joint there, and a very tiny little bit of a look down. Not much there. The shoulders are weird, to be frank. You've got a full rotation on a soft tension joint all the way around, but then the out to the side is on a ratchet up here. It's quite stiff, but then you've also got a secondary ratchet on the inside, which kind of, when you do this, it maneuvers this bit on this bit on the inside. It's quite difficult to explain, but it feels a little bit flimsy, if I'm honest, because this is quite tight, whereas this on the inside isn't. So just something to note there. You've got a bicep swivel down on the arms, that's good. The elbow is a little bit limited. It gets you less than 90 degrees actually on a single hinge. The hands have got a swivel at the wrist, and then the fingers, you've got a single articulated index finger, and then these three are fused together. They're in the claw formation, and then you've got a thumb, which is on a ball peg as well. Down at the waist, you've got a full waist rotation. You have to maneuver this bit just a little bit out of the way to get round, kind of, bit of a clearance with the hip skirts there, but it does do it. The hip skirts themselves, you've got individual at the front and sides, and then that allows full kick out to the front, full kick out to the back, and all the way out to the side as well on a soft tension universal. You've got a little bit of thigh rotation, so that's good. The knees have got a ratchet in, very sturdy, very strong, 90 degrees, and that is good also. Down at the ankles, you've got a really good ankle tilt. You've got a foot tilt as well, and then also you've got a toe tilt. So really good down here, and it's very solid as well. You've got this kind of heel bit sticking out the back. It's a bit unsightly, to be honest, but it does provide a lot of stability for the figure. So all round, I mean, to be honest, it's a clunky looking character in the first place, Hoist, isn't it? So there's going to be limitations just due to the way he has to be designed. So there's some good bits and there's some bad bits. Overall, it's decent. 7 out of 10. For a size comparison, here he is next to Op Leader. I think they pretty much nailed it, actually. This is probably where I think Hoist is. If you look at the Sunbow chart in particular, but just generally, I think that fits. Looks good. So in terms of presence, I think X-transbots have done a good job here of recreating G1 Hoist. If we bring in the obligatory animation model, you can see it's not bang on proportionally, but then would you want it to be? I'm not entirely sure. I personally wouldn't, some may, but there you go. I think, but also I think it'd be too difficult to engineer something that looked like the G1 cartoon version of Hoist. He's such a weird, kind of wonky looking character. So I think they've gone for something that is kind of very masterpiece looking, but with a nod to the G1 Toon as well. Particularly the colours, I think they're pretty much spot on. I think the green could have been a shade darker, but the orange and the white really make it stand out, really make it kind of look look the G1 part. I think the face sculpt is a little bit off. It's not quite there, but it is unmistakably Hoist. I think, you know, all round it is good in terms of what it's trying to do. Clean it wise, he's very clean from the front. He's very clean from the back, apart from down here. This looks a bit gappy, but it is kind of hidden by this bit up here. I think they've done a good job actually on the backpack. It's all very chunky and tabs into place very securely. It feels very solid. And this could have been quite kibbly and a little bit flappy. So hats off to them for that. I think the biggest thing for me presence-wise is the windshield. It's very transparent, very see-through, and you can kind of see light shining through into the cab, into the hollowness of the chest there. He looks very hollow because of this. And also down here as well, you can see the light shining through on the pelvis bit there. I think an easy fix for this would have just been to make this opaque, paint it blue or something like that, fit with the G1 Toon thing, and also these white ratchets. If they'd have made those green, it would have just done so much to kind of make the figure more complete in its look. So overall, I think it's a good job presence-wise. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it is a good job. 8 out of 10. So if we talk about the paint first, it's a mixed bag on this. You've got, the one end, an extremely high quality paint finish on the green. It's like a car. It is so smooth, and it's, you know, it's just really premium. Really premium feel and look. It's not going to chip. It's got that lacquered kind of effect that X-transbots do. Equally, the orange is good. It's not quite the same as this, but it is very smooth, very durable, very hard wearing in terms of feel and overall quality. The pearlescent white, this is where the issue is. It looks good and it gives it the Toon effect. This is what, you know, this reissue is all about, giving it a Toon job. But it is very chippy, if that's the right word. It's chippy down here on the edges. So that's unfortunate. And this was like that out of the box. I haven't done anything other than transform the figure, but there's a couple of little places where it's chipped. This bit down here on the metallic, on the die-cast metal, on the green, this white here, this is very well done, but these pieces on the plastic, not so great. So a bit of a mixed bag there. Build-wise, and I should say actually, paint quality in terms of application. Look at that splodge on the side of the face. This is proper QC stuff here. I could probably scrape this off. It feels very soft there, so not too great there. Just a note. My copy. This is my copy. The copies may be different, but there we go. Build-wise, the figure's solid. He's got, like I say, die cast down on the feet, very solid legs. He's well built, got ratchets and all of those kind of things, and he feels good, to be honest. This feels like a very good, chunky quality piece, particularly for the price point. So a couple of niggles on the paint. Overall, very good quality. 8 out of 10. So the transformation on this isn't fun, to be honest. It's not intuitive, and I think it's overly fussy and complicated for what it needs to do. And I think there are quite a few places where you've got materials that are not strong enough to do the job they need to do. And it's strange actually, because the outer bot and the outer alt mode on this, it feels quite chunky and quite solid, but some of the exploded parts that you need to kind of move out of the way to transform it, some of the inner workings are quite flimsy, particularly on this backpack area. And you know, you've got these hip skirts where you have to clear them past two backpack bits as you bring it all down, and the hinge that this backpack is on is quite thin plastic actually, which is strange for, you know, a figure that's got die-cast pieces in it and some really strong materials. The bits where it needs the strength, it doesn't have. It's got quite flimsy bits. So yeah, it's not great, to be honest. It's not very robust where it needs to be robust. Overall, I mean, it tabs into place very securely, a bit like with the bot mode once you get there, but the inner bits are not great. 5 out of 10. So the alt mode in general, I think, is very good. This is obviously Hoist. They've redone the decos on the side to give it the G1 Toon look. Like I said in the bot mode section, the quality section, the paint job is really premium, and it shines through on the alt mode. The green and the orange and the tampos, really good stuff. I think it's pretty good actually. You've got the trailer bit at the back, and these can slide out, so you can tow vehicles of different wheelbase size, so that's very good. It just looks very good, actually. There's not much kibble. There are, a couple of little bits hanging down here, but from all the relevant angles, there's not much showing. The sort of elephant in the room, or the hoist in the room, is, hello, there he is, smiling through the windshield, or peeking through the windshield. I think it's a real shame. They could have just made that covered that over, made it opaque, a nice blue toon windshield color, and it would have really done it a favor. And it shines through in this mode as much as in the other. Bit of a shame that, but overall the hoistishness of the vehicle mode is there. So 8 out of 10. So there we have it. Adding it all together, he gets a final score of 7.7 out of 10. And this is a good take on a masterpiece hoist. I think he looks good in bot mode, and he looks good in alt mode. The transformation, I think, is terrible. It's got too many over-engineered, poorly designed maneuvers, and it's not supported by particularly strong materials in some crucial places. But that is just my opinion. Others may feel different. I think the biggest issue with this figure for me is just that windshield. If it had been done slightly differently, it wouldn't have created that gappy kind of effect, that hollow looking feel to the center of the robot. Again, that might just be a personal take, but for me it is really kind of obvious. You can see the light shining through it. But what I will say is that if we ever get an official masterpiece take on Hoist, I'd be really surprised if it could be done this well at this price point, and that is something to think about. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review. Thanks for watching, take care, please subscribe, and bye for now.